Me when someone tells me their establishment only takes cards and not cash.
Money talks and bullshit walks. And if the first album was...
Me when a woman tells me on the first date that she doesn't believe in sex before marriage. And this is me trying to say a tongue twister to convince a police officer that I wasn't driving under the influence of alcohol.
Fickle fucker, pick the pink pepper. Fickle fucker, pick the pepper. Fickle fuckers pick peppers. Fickle fuckers pick peppers.
Hello guys, welcome back to the show. So today we're going to talk about why your fragrance hobby is sad. It is a sad little hobby, you sad little man or woman. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm also going to recommend two great fragrances that I'd really like you to try out if you haven't already. I really like both of these. So you will get some fragrance information. We talk about fragrances and a little bit more than that. I'll give you some dating advice at the end of the video too. All right. Now, yeah, the fragrance hobby, guys. Oh, I'm just so over this whole community and the hobby. It's really a bunch of very weird people, not you, present company excluded. So let's go through some of the main reasons why your hobby, your fragrance collecting hobby might be... Do some of your friends think it's a bit odd? Does your significant other maybe think it's a bit strange and not a very healthy hobby? Maybe they're right. Maybe you need to think about that, all right? So let's have a look at some of the reasons. Okay, one thing you want to bear in mind, guys. But one thing you want to bear in mind, if you want to buy fragrance samples in the USA, Canada, or Puerto Rico, please go to myfragrancesamples.com. Link in the description. The number one place over there to buy your fragrance samples. Amazing range of designer and niche scents. Okay, so first reason this hobby can be a little bit sad and pathetic. I got to be honest. Hobbies like this do tend to attract slightly weird people with kind of lonely, empty lives. Okay, ever know people who are train spotters? No, good for them if they like doing that. People who play Dungeons and Dragons board games or whatever you call it. Okay, it tends to attract slightly weird people, and so does collecting stamps. Yeah, it's not really the most charismatic people who collect the stamps I've found in my life, or coins. I got to be honest with you. Hobbies like this, collecting fragrances and being obsessed about them, they tend to attract slightly odd people. I've got to be, from my findings, okay? So, nobody needs all this many fragrances. It's not that interesting, and it's slightly peculiar. And these hobbies where people are very, very obsessed and invested in one thing that is really, for most of the rest of the world, not a huge part of their life. I mean, I can understand it if you're a fanatic ultra supporter of a football club or something. At least that involves, perpetrating violence on opposition team support, stuff that I can kind of get behind. But this hobby is a little bit weird. So, look at yourself, have a think about it. And have you done this kind of thing before? Was there other stuff you were really into? Were you kind of collecting toadstools? Were you obsessing about sneakers? Is there something wrong with you? Have a look at it and think about that. Number two, then, reason for this video is smelling good and having a nice fragrance to wear when you meet friends or perhaps have a romantic situation. Ain't that difficult, okay? It ain't that difficult. It's not like you need to go through watching thousands of hours of fragrance videos, top 10s, top 20s, make her want you videos to find out how you can buy a fragrance that might make you smell good and attractive to a woman. There are many, many fragrances that will do that. It is really, really rather easy, okay? Most decent smelling fresh fragrances will be appealing to a woman, okay, to be honest with you. Very few of them will be off-putting. They will probably smell a little bit better than wearing nothing. So most, just buy Bleu de Chanel, to be honest with you, if you really don't care, or buy anything fresh that I recommend on my channel or that anyone else recommends on theirs. It really doesn't matter that much, okay? Probably don't wear Dior Sauvage because it's overplayed, but it isn't that hard. Now, to actually make people like you, to get a woman to want you, I'm sorry, but the fragrance is really not, that is not a big part of the story. There is so much, unfortunately, for people like me, it's all about personality, good looks, integrity, all of which I lack completely. But these are the things you've really got to work on if you want to go there and go out there and attract other people and put your best foot forward in life. So this whole idea that the smelling good thing is something you should focus all your energy on. You see people dressed poorly, in terrible physical condition, obsessing over their 500th fragrance purchase. What is that helping you with in your life? Focus on the stuff that really matters, and that's maybe what you look like and how you behave towards people, and that the fragrance is nothing more than the icing on the cake. So if you're focusing all your energy on a fragrance as a magic wand that you can wave to make women want you, have a look at yourself, sunshine. Okay, next up, have a look at the YouTubers who present these videos. I'm sorry, but a lot of them are quite sad little people. Even people with very successful channels, and hats off to them. In the real world, are they really the alpha males of humanity, or even some of the females who are kind of attractive? I don't know. Are they really film star material? Are they really charismatic? It's a very strange group of people, and if you're looking up to them for your advice, I've got to be honest with you. You might want to have a little think about that. I don't want to take advice from these guys, scruffily dressed people with scruffy looking beards or wearing baseball hats telling me what fragrance I should wear. The attractive girls who do it, okay, they're a bit more polished, some of them, but I don't think, if they hadn't launched their YouTube channel, I don't think these people would exactly be network TV stars in terms of their charisma or presenting skills, and I don't think they've exactly, most of them have not studied perfumery in depth. So getting into this fragrance YouTube watching stuff, strange little rabbit hole you've fallen into, isn't it? Is this really the best thing you can be doing with your time? Now, the other thing you want to watch out is if you're in these fragrance groups somewhere out there, I don't know whether it's a Facebook group or you hang around in YouTube chat comments, or you're on, I don't know, Reddit apps where you talk about fragrance, or maybe where you even troll people who talk about fragrances. That sort of becomes your social, or even live streams. That's another whole story. I do a fragrance live stream. People, you see the same names in the chat of every live stream, you know, even though there's only 30 people watching this crap. Oh my god, man, that's your social circle, that's your friends. Jesus Christ, get a life, get out your front door, go and meet people in the real world and have real fun. This hobby can be quite sad. I enjoy it, but I'm running a channel. You can enjoy it too, but just be careful. Just be careful that you're not becoming a really sad little person. Okay, bit of stuff about fragrances you might want to try. I love Chanel Pour Monsieur Eau de Parfum. The original Chanel Pour Monsieur from 1955 has been updated, and there's a few different iterations where they've done this kind of perfume Eau de Parfum thing. Anyway, this latest one, really, really good. It is green, it has lavender, it has herbs and spices, and it's a little bit warmer and richer than the more fresh and citrusy original EDT version. Very, very classy. Same vibe as Creed's Bois de Portugal. Do check that out if you like my kind of fragrances that I often recommend. One more great one that I really think is lovely. If you're lucky enough to find a vintage bottle of Monsieur de Givenchy, the 1959 release, what an outstanding fragrance this is. Beautiful citrus, aromatic stroke chypre. Many of the same descriptors here. Hesperidic top notes. Beautiful herbal aromatic tones. Lavender, tonka bean, and kind of crisp woods in the base. This is absolutely classic with real oak moss if you can find the vintage formula. The modern reissue version is actually not terrible, but that's getting harder to find too. I think they've discontinued it. Not quite the same, but it's a good substitute. Check that out too, but getting expensive. Bit of life advice and dating. I dipped my toe into the dating world a little bit recently. Just be careful with your mental health, man, if you go on these dating apps. I know a lot of people who've been on them, and a lot of them have had a lot of damaging experiences. Consider meeting someone in the real world. Dating apps, just like all social media things, can be a bit dodgy. Watch out for yourselves. I'll see you in the next video. Remember, whatever you're doing in life, let's project, and although sometimes life may stink, at least we can always smell good. Bye-bye.